The Salvation Army has partnered with the City of Portland to provide a playroom for children living in the city's homeless shelter. The playroom will give these children a fun, safe place to play during an uncertain period in their lives. Brian Knobloch spoke with Major Terry Schaefer, the Salvation Army's Corps officer, at the opening ceremony.
Well, welcome and good morning to the Salvation Army here of Greater Portland. Today we're going to have our dedication of the playroom at the Army. A long dream and vision has come to fruition this morning, and we're glad that you could join us as we dedicate this room to the infants and toddlers of Greater Portland.
Major Schaefer, what's the impetus for this playroom?
Well, the impetus was to allow the infants and toddlers who are in homeless shelters to be all they could be. And we found the research scientists tell us by the age of 5, most of their brain and neurons and that type of thing have already been developed. And this was a chance to get them in an environment to allow a positive growth in that kind of thing.
What's the age range for the children that will use the facility?
Basically from 0 to about 4 years old. It's designed for infants and toddlers. When you go and see the playroom furniture and the toys and the books and that kind of thing, it's designed for those children of that age.
What special problems or challenges do children of homeless people face?
Well, most studies find that they live in high tension, anxiety, not sure what's going to happen tomorrow. They're thrown into an environment, no matter how well we try to do the job of safety and security, that they may not know where they're going to be the next day, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of stress in growing up. There's enough already without having that kind of thing, too.
Children who are long-term homeless, do they have to learn to play again?
That's one of the things that some of the studies have found, because play is so important to develop those motor skills, educational skills, reading abilities, that type of thing. So this is what we're hoping to accomplish with this program.
And many of the materials in the playroom have been donated, is that correct?
Some have been donated, some have been purchased with the financial support of the Portland Rotary Club and the Friends of the Army, that type of thing too. So our goal is to have a playroom that has the best toys, quality toys and equipment so they can have a best experience.
Portland Mayor Michael Brennan cut the ribbon for the new playroom and talked about the cooperation needed to bring this project to completion.
This is a terrific day for children in the city of Portland. Particularly those that don't have a stable place to live. And the first thing I just want to mention, the first thing I want to note is that this wouldn't have happened without the help, the collaboration, and the support of a number of different organizations. And I'm glad that the Salvation Army was a catalyst for bringing together a number of these different organizations to make this type of program available. And obviously in the environment that we live in, both locally and nationally, we understand that oftentimes we can't do the things that we used to if we just stand alone, and that we have to work together with each other in order to make things happen. The other thing, I just want to reiterate some of the comments that Major Schaefer made. We also understand that children and families don't live in vacuums. They live in systems. They interact with neighborhoods. They interact with the larger community. And in fact, families prosper best when they have the opportunity to have an interactive environment, and they have other resources within the family that they can draw upon. And some research, some statistics show that child abuse and neglect tend to flourish in situations where families are isolated or parents feel they have no one else to turn to. As I leave here, I will be going to Augusta. And my reason for going to Augusta is to try to convince the governor and the legislature not to make significant and deep cuts to the General Assistance Program. And currently, the governor's proposal, if it were enacted as he has presented, would end up meaning that hundreds of people would lose housing assistance in the city of Portland, and it would end up costing Portland taxpayers over $2.2 million of additional money. So our hope is that the legislature will reconsider the governor's proposal, and that we'll have an opportunity to continue to run a general assistance program in Portland that does many of the things that Major Schaefer talked about, which that we can support families, and we can make sure that those families that are most vulnerable, that don't have a stable place to live, do have the opportunity to be protected, to be secure, and have the opportunity to step up and step forward.
The emphasis here is to provide something beyond just the home for the homeless, is that right?
It's to provide something beyond the home for the homeless, correct. It's to provide a safe environment, a learning environment, a happy environment, and also hopefully the parents can connect with other resources to help them as they try to deal with the issue of homelessness and become into a home of their own.